I lived with the Viet Cong for 2 weeks. Uh, because when there were the peace talks at, I think it was called Camp, what the camp was called, Camp Davis, I think. There was a enclosure inside Tan Son Nhut Air Base in Saigon. And there was a Viet Cong delegation there, North Vietnamese Viet Cong delegation there for the peace talks, protected. And every Saturday they held a news conference. And press loaded up in Saigon on a bus, went out to this Camp Davis, and the Viet Cong held a news conference. So you got to know these guys, and you know everybody made their pitch, and we made our pitch, and the colonel was Colonel Volan Jang, and you know I think we established a good relationship. Mm-hmm. I gave them some articles about CBS, about Cronkite being the most trusted man in America. And they made arrangements so we could go into an area of the country that they controlled.
What stands out in your mind about that experience, actually being in the Viet Cong held area?
A couple of things. One, I probably had the best chicken I've ever had.
Really?
This guy killed a chicken one night, you know, and when you kill an animal, you know, it's a violent death, and those toxins are released. This guy sat there with this chicken in his lap, you know, just stroking the chicken. I mean, the chicken was like just being like a pet. And it was just so relaxed, you know. And he took out a knife, and he just kept stroking and holding the knife in his hand. And he just clicked the vein. I mean, I don't think the chicken felt it, you know, and it just started slowly bled to death. And they cooked that chicken that night. This was the sweetest chicken I've ever had. The other thing that I remember very well were two things actually. One, I saw the Ho Chi Minh Trail. I mean, I saw these guys, men and women, carrying supplies. And I just, you know, I heard all of these stories about the bombing and the interdiction of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Well, you know, here's a guy coming down and he's carrying belts, you know, someone else carrying shirts, you know, and he would walk from one end, he had a territory, and he would walk from one end to the other. He didn't have to carry food, anything, because there were people in that territory who would house and feed him. And then he'd go back and pick up another load. So there wasn't one person coming all the way down from the north to the south. They would come by, each person had their district. They were known in that district, they would take care of them. The other thing that stuck out in my mind was one night when they started to shell the village where we were staying, and we went into this bunker. And these bunkers were so well constructed. I mean, there was just no way, I think that bunker could have survived a direct hit. And you see firsthand the futility of so much armed might against people who believed. I met an old guy who said, you know, we fought the French before we fought your country. He said, I've been fighting for 30 years, and we won't stop fighting until we're free. And I saw no one on the South Vietnamese side who had that commitment. I saw brigades that had phantom soldiers, so the commanders could collect the extra money. I just didn't see the kind of commitment on the ARVN side, the South Vietnamese side, that I saw with the Viet Cong.